call the meeting to order and ask you to join us to the pledge to the flag on this 250th anniversary. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for coming out and joining us for our July board meeting, either in person or others may be joining us by YouTube live streaming. I do want to note that we held an executive session immediately prior to this meeting, and we had a couple of topics regarding personnel issues and potential litigation. If at any time you can't hear us clearly, let us know, because we can't hear what it sounds like out there. Agendas were available on the table in the back. If you didn't get one, there's also a sign-in sheet, so if you didn't sign in, please do that before you leave. The agenda for the meeting was posted on this building's entrance door and on our website. Meeting is live streaming on YouTube and will be posted immediately. The recording will also be available through the website, and written minutes will be available after they're approved by the board. There will be 2 public comment sessions. If you wish to participate in either one of those, we'd ask you to step up to the microphone, speak close to it and loudly and distinctly so we can all understand, and respect the 5-minute limit that we have. So with that, we'll do self-introductions of the board and the staff.
David Brose.
Jeff Rogers.
Art Rutledge.
Bob Brown.
Jeff Ronald.
Assistant Manager Ryan Weinsbach.
Todd Ziegler, Township Manager.
And Wendy Brown, our recording secretary, is excused by the board for this meeting since she's on vacation. And we have also excused our solicitor from this meeting. With that, we will turn to the agenda.
Can you hear us out there?
Not
Okay.
all the mics are on. I don't think Ryan's or Art's is on.
Arts wasn't on.
Okay.
Can't get it much closer. Helpful? Still doesn't sound.
We're getting it.
We good?
We're working
That's-
through some technical
Now,
issues.
now I think we're better. Okay. So the first item would be to approve minutes from our last meeting.
I'll
Make
make
a
a
motion to
motion to
approve.
approve the meeting minutes from June 3rd.
Second. I'll
All right.
concede.
Thank you for making that easy. We have a motion and a second to approve the
Thanks,
minute
Don.
meetings from June. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? I'll ask for the vote to approve the meetings.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye?
I'll abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay, good.
Aye.
So we have four
votes,
we have
yeah.
4 approvals, and we have 1 abstention, so we have approved the minutes. From there, we'll move to the treasurer's report. I would note that, as we all know, our interest is down a little bit because things are tied up in CDs that interest will be when they mature. Still, it was about $2,300. We continue to have a lot of pavilion rentals, $225 worth, and we had about $700 in fines for various things. Any comments? I would just note that the expenditures far exceed revenue, but $600,000 of the expenditures are fire and EMS taxes that are being transferred to them. Again, doesn't take any money from us because it's a separate tax. And about $65,000, I think, was the new truck we purchased. So all in all, without those, things would be about equal. So there are reasons for that difference. Anything you wanted to comment on, Todd, or any questions from anybody?
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report. for
Second.
June.
We have a motion and a second to approve the treasurer's report. Any questions? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative. We've approved the treasurer's report. You have in front of you an actual versus budget report for the first 6 months of the year. I went over this pretty thoroughly with Todd and Ryan in our agenda review meeting yesterday. And there are a few things a little out of line, but all those are things that maybe have quarterly income, some grant revenue that changed from one year to another. And I think some of the engineering where we'll recoup some of that with the sidewalk grant proceeds. So I don't think we saw anything, Todd or Ryan, that was out of line or concerned us about budget versus actual. Anybody have any questions?
No, I thought it looked like we're doing all right.
And that doesn't need to be approved, that's just informational for you. So we arrived at the first opportunity for public comment. Is there anybody who wishes to address the board at this time? Seeing the audience, I didn't think so, so we'll all have other business. So we'll move on so we can get to that. The first item that was in public comment, we have recommended to put on table that. This was a student that had some concern about, I guess, safety and running on the roads. And I think he's now talking to the school board. I don't think we want to make any decision, but I think we should have a brief conversation. When I look at this, I guess apparently the track team and the cross-country teams run all over the place on country roads that have no shoulders, blind turns, just, in my mind, a horrible place to be running, but that's what they do. And this proposal was going to be to put a bunch of signs up and do some other things. I think to help the student that's doing that, maybe we should give some brief feedback. I don't think we should do anything that would show any support of running on the roads. I sure wouldn't want any of my kids out there doing that. I mean, these are horrible, dangerous roads to run on.
Rail trail would be a handy place to run on.
What's that?
The rail trail would be a handy place to run on.
Well, they also have a huge campus,
Well, that's what I was
you
thinking.
know? So I'm not asking we vote on anything, but I'm just thinking that maybe Todd would be the right person to go back and just have some further conversation. Ryan has worked with the student, trying to help him get information and all together, but I don't think we want to lead him on to this sign, and I'm talking about 20 or 30 signs he wanted to have put up. And nobody pays attention to signs anyway, if we're honest about it, especially when you get tons of them out there. So I think unless there's any objection, maybe we should have Todd kind of convey that we've got just a real safety concern and would find it very difficult to do anything that would show support for that.
Yeah, because
Yeah, if I left, yeah, go
as
ahead.
we know, the roads are,
Narrow.
they're narrow. They have absolutely no shoulders. You know, some of those are a little windy, blind curves. And then certainly, if you saw the map, the number of signs were proposed, it's
There's
just,
a lot of signs.
That's just not acceptable for that many signs. Because he was looking for one at each and every intersection on every road, and that's just what you call sign pollution. You know, you get too many signs, as Art said, and it's kind of overwhelming. You don't pay attention to any of them then.
Yeah.
And then, you know, one of the questions I had was that this is a school function. So even if there were to be signs placed, I believe it's the school's responsibility to fund,
I feel like
Any
it's the
signs
school's
that would be-
responsibility to
keep them safe.
make sure that they're
Yeah.
operating in a safe environment too.
Right.
They,
So,
they'd be more effective in my mind having a trailing vehicle with like flashing lights on it, like they do on the side of the road for
yeah.
work or whatnot.
But as Art said, I mean,
following the people that are running, instead of telling people to move over. But
they do have a very large campus, as we know. Some of it's hilly, some of it's wooded. But that's what cross-country is all about, if you're a cross-country runner. So, yeah, I you know, from my standpoint, from an administrative side, I wouldn't encourage it, as Art said, because I think if we condone that type of activity for that particular sports, where's it going to stop? And then if there is, you know, an unfortunate mishap, what kind of liabilities that put back on the township because we stepped up and kind of assumed some.
I mean,
of the
today you
signage.
have to be concerned about road rage. Look at what you hear every day. Somebody gets behind.
It's not on our place to take
Yeah.
care of this.
Now, I did ask Todd, and kind of what I thought. I don't think we can outright ban it. We can't say you can't do it. We can just not make it easy.
Well, we just don't put any signs up or anything for it.
No, right,
We just-
right. So I think maybe Todd can just help convey that and
Yeah.
help, because I think he's meeting with the school board. And I think, in fact, the school board suggested you shouldn't be to the township till you talk to us, so. Okay? Good? All right. Thank you for the comments, appreciate that. The next item then would be ordinances and resolutions. So we have one which would vacate a small portion of road that I think Todd can tell us about.
Yeah, this is, Ryan's gonna bring that up here.
Or Ryan, whichever one.
I'll explain it to you here, but try to get Ryan to load up here. What we have down in Russet Farms Development, Norland Way intersects, and currently it's a T intersection. Norland Way with
That one's
Russet
down,
Farms.
but this one's up.
We're not
so-
having a good electronics night.
Oh, no.
Can you hand me that remote, Ryan? Anyway, you'll see the stub part of the street between the two properties that we're showing as being abandoned. That is currently just grass right now. And I do not foresee that road ever extending over into the neighboring property because that goes over to Sussex Place. And number one, there's a pretty significant drop. But not only that, they now have townhouses built where that road
Blocking
would
it.
extend. So there really is no need for that road for dedication. And the way this all came about, the property owner approached me. Their property line currently runs to the center line of all the roads. All those properties do. But of course, we have a 50-foot right-of-way. And that stands true for the section that's currently grass for a future street. What they want to do is the one property owner want to put a fence up, but he wanted to go over to the middle of the road. But I told him can't because there's a recorded plan that shows that right away in that easement until that's either a revised plan or an ordinance abandoning that. You're not going to be able to do that. So, what's the hang excuse me. And he has agreed, what you see so far as the surveying, the plan that was put together, the ordinance that was drafted and everything, he's paying all costs. There's no expense to the township, including the advertisement of the ordinance that took place. So it really serves us no purpose to hang on to that. This would give that back to them. Yeah, there you can see the bottom of the T there with the cross hatching in it.
Yeah. Should,
Is
Tw-
lot
25
48
feet
and lot
each.
13.
to each property?
Yes, so it would be split between each property. You can see the dotted line shows the existing paved cartway, the curb, grass strip, sidewalk. So if you look about where Ryan has that cursor, you can see the curb line. So that would still give us some storage area for snow that's pushed out of Norland Way into that area. So, hopefully that made sense.
I think so.
Yep.
So if the board's okay with that, this has been advertised, so you can make a motion to.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-004.
I'll second it.
Say thank you.
We have a motion and
I was worried briefly.
we have a motion and a second that we would approve vacating that portion of Northern Way. Any other questions before we vote? Ask for the vote.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative, so vacating of the road is approved. And then, Todd, we had the advertising for an ordinance. I think this one needs some comment, and anybody else can jump in because data centers are on everybody's eye, and we are looking at proposing advertising an ordinance regarding data centers. This is to be proactive to manage any proposed data center. It includes limiting and placing a lot of restrictions. It's not inviting them in. It's not trying to make them comfortable to come in. It's trying to make sure we are in control if one does come in. I would emphasize we know of no interest for any data center coming in right now. But by Pennsylvania law, every municipality must allow for every possible use. So we cannot say no data centers can come here. We have to open the door for them. But we can define where they go, and we can define a lot of restrictions or requirements. So we're limiting them in this to the industrial zone, which is a pretty small area. So you probably couldn't get a big building there. The amendment places, I think, reasonable requirements and restrictions that addresses a lot of issues and concerns. A few of those are noise, vibration, power availability, water use and availability, wastewater disposal, EMF interference, stormwater management, setbacks and heights, proximity to what we call sensitive receptors like schools and residential neighborhoods and a number of other things. Fencing, fire suppression, emergency management planning, impact on natural resources. It requires a negative impact analysis report. It requires an environmental and community impact analysis report. All these have to be funded by anyone who might want to bring a data center in. It requires a decommissioning plan and financial security for that. It would be a conditional use, not by right, but a conditional use, meaning the Board of Supervisors would have to approve it, and they would have to meet all the conditions. If they did, we'd have to approve it, but they got a lot of conditions they'd have to meet. And that's kind of what I thought about, but just people seem to get up in arms about a data center and fill parking lots and buildings with them. This is not to invite them in, but to try to control what happens if somebody would want to come in. Anything you want to add?
The only thing I'll add is Art had mentioned, the state law requires that you have to accommodate all uses and put them in some particular zone. Also under state law, if you don't have a particular use listed in your zoning ordinance, then they can go in almost any zone by special exception.
Thank you, yeah.
And so that's when he said about this being proactive. This identifies a use, it puts it in the industrial district, and they have to meet all that criteria. Otherwise, if we didn't address it in the zoning ordinance and one wanted to come into the township, they have a lot more flexibility, and the township has much less control as to where it goes and how set back and the heights and things like that. So.
Thank you, that's an important factor, yes, we considered. Anything else I missed?
No. The only other thing is for the board, there were a couple of comments that came back from York County Planning Commission. None of them are substantive enough that it needs to go back for their review a second time. They are marked up in your copy, redlined, so you can identify what those changes were that we made since it came back from county planning. So we believe it's ready now to be authorized for advertisement for adoption at next month's meeting.
I'll make a motion that we advertise the proposed zoning ordinance amendment regarding data center.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve advertising of the ordinance. I don't know how many pages that is, but it's a pretty thick document, by the way. It's not just a page or two, and a lot of effort went into that, and I thank the committee members who participated in that. Any other questions or comments before we vote? The vote is to advertise. Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
5 votes to the affirmative, so we have approved it for advertising. That means it would come up in our next meeting, and we would have a public hearing prior to action on the ordinance. We're into subdivision and land development, and I think some of these people are with us. So the first one would be to Excelsior, hope I pronounced that right,
Ecclesia?
Living Waters Ministry.
How'd you say it?
Excelsior?
I'm going Ecclesia. It looks like Ecclesiastes.
Thank you, you're right.
All right, there we go.
Thank you for the correction. I stand corrected.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Stein
Hi.
with Warehouse and the project manager. With me this evening is Pastor Mike and his wife Debbie, who...
Seen you all before, so
Yes.
we're
so-
becoming friends.
Yes, good to know. This is their project here, Shrewsbury Township. They're looking to relocate their ministry from Maryland here into this community. This is located along Elm Drive. It's a previously subdivided property. Stormwater management had already been done on there for some of the road infrastructure, but we did have to add some additional stormwater to address the volume control, because everything that was in there before was for rate control. We have an 80 by 80 building, 30 parking spaces, landscaping, lighting, everything that's required by the township's the ordinances that are applicable to this project. Since our last submission, we haven't received any updated review letters, but we think we're in a position tonight to obtain a conditional approval. We did have a unanimous recommendation for approval from the Planning Commission for the plan, and that would include 4 waivers. Those waivers are from preliminary plan requirements, traffic impact assessment, monuments and markers, which already exist, and then street design, waiving the requirement for curb improvements along Elm Drive. Pretty simple in my opinion. The plan, I think, is before you. So if you have anything in there, I didn't bring a sheet because you guys have great technology here to look at. So if there's anything you want to go through, happy to answer any questions. If I can't answer it, then the applicant most certainly probably could.
Thank you, Todd. Anything
I
you
would
want
say,
to?
if you recall, last month, the board did approve one sewer EDU transfer from Shrewsbury Commons to this property. And the board did also approve the modification
Right.
request that he had just mentioned. So tonight, all you would be looking at is conditionally approving the plan as presented, and it would be conditioned upon all comments in the C.S. Davidson review letter dated April 30th of 26.
April 2nd? Or is there another one?
April 30th.
So I think there was 2. I think we had one that was for land development ordinance compliance.
Oh, yeah, I'm
and the
sorry.
other one
I'm
was
looking
for
at the stormwater, thank you.
April
So
2nd.
it would be April 2nd for the general comments for the zoning and subdivision, and then the April 30th for the stormwater.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
And we have responded to that. I assume it's under review by staff. We just haven't had any.
Yeah, that would be Jeff Shute on the stormwater, yeah.
All right.
So,
Questions from the board? Or a motion?
Make a motion to approve the land development plan conditional upon the April 2nd, 2026 C.S. Davidson letter.
Second.
We have a motion on acceptance to conditionally approve the final land development plan. Comments before we vote? I ask for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
5 votes to the affirmative, so you are approved.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so the next one up would be a land development plan, and I believe some modification requests for 7 Brew.
Good evening. My name is Travis Odom. I'm the Director of Real Estate for 7 Brew Drive-Thru Coffee. Looking to bring our 7 Brew concept here to the Shrewsbury Township. We are looking to be at the Shrewsbury Commons. I believe this went before the Planning Commission and was approved from the Planning Commission. So here to ask for your approval tonight for final approval of the plan.
I want to get the one that shows landscaping. Maybe that was one of the earlier ones. Try going back there. Is there another one?
I
A
do
different
believe all
one
the comments were addressed from the engineer.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as the modification requests, staff supports those requests, and they were also presented to the planning commission last month, and they recommended that the board approve those as well, as are listed, and it's 3 of them there for the pre-final waiver, plan orientation, the 35-foot wide buffer. So if
And
you
most of the other mods are basically just due to location. You
Part of
know,
well, the
like
30,
with the plantings and things like that, it's just all to accommodate
yeah, I
kind of
was
that
trying to
site.
find,
site distance and all.
I'm trying to find the plan sheet with the landscaping on it. That's not it.
I think we have one in our packet, Todd.
You should keep,
Yeah.
if you keep going, it's towards the back.
Maybe it's past all that other.
It is.
Okay, down toward the end.
Keep rolling.
Yeah.
It's past the building. Should be. Is that all you got?
Well, it's on the paper copy, but
Yeah, we have paper
nonetheless,
of all that.
and part of this 35-foot wide buffer request is due to, when you're coming out of the shopping
Right.
center there at, onto Mount Airy, is to allow for the sight distance. Because otherwise, if it's brought out to the road there, people are gonna have trouble pulling out.
And that's an important site for that consideration to be recognized. So right now, we are looking at just approval of the modifications as a first step. Are there any questions from the board on any of the modifications? And if not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the land development plan for
Right now,
seven.
right now, we need to look at the modifications first.
Isn't that what I
2
said?
steps, right? So we need to approve.
Yeah, and then the land development plan
right.
is second.
Gotcha.
So hold
Okay,
on
that
one
was the title. I was reading the title there, B.
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion is to approve the modification request for 7 Brew at 1102 Shrewsbury Commons Avenue.
Thank you. Is there
I'll
a
second the motion.
So we have a motion and a second that would approve the modifications as listed on the sheet. Any other questions before we vote? I'll ask for the vote.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
5 votes to the affirmative, so the modification requests are approved. And now we would look at the land development. This is kind of a combination of preliminary and final, so this would be the final land development plan. Now
Yeah, and
we can
again,
make
if
that
the
motion.
board's comfortable and ready to act on that, it would be on the condition
Right.
that all the comments of the June 17, 2026 review letter are addressed.
Right, thank
Again,
you.
while I understand they probably were, that's kind of pretty
Sure.
typical
No, I
for us
understand.
just to do
Yeah.
our double checking, so.
Totally understand. Got it.
This is at the old bank site.
Correct.
Yes.
Now you can go.
What are you doing with the
Okay.
vault? I'm
All right.
I always wondered.
There's
Like,
not
is there-
gonna be
is
a
there- is there
building
a vault
left.
in the center of Dunkin' Donuts too? Like, I don't know.
We get rid of their vaults. I mean, it's very expensive to get rid
I
of
can
the vaults.
imagine.
Yeah. We've
Yeah.
done several banks, and it's the most expensive part of it.
Well, per the agenda 8-.B.2, the land development plan, I make a motion that we approve it, 1102 Shrewsbury Commons Avenue.
Including the condition of the June 17th letter of C.S. Davidson?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a couple seconds. I'll let somebody decide which one
May have
came
already
first.
passed. I'm not sure. We have to check with our legal counsel.
Yeah. All right, so we have a motion and a second that we would approve the land development plan conditional upon the C.S. Davidson June 17th letter. Any questions before we vote?
Yeah. Has the stack up been looked at for this facility? Where it's, in other words, backup traffic, is it gonna it's not gonna back out on the Mount area in any way?
No, not to my knowledge. I mean, we have,
Well, because I've heard of different areas where you're at. Your business is so strong that you're backing up on the roadways.
I can't speak to other locations other than what I am, involved with. We have, what I would tell you is we've learned a lot from the years of growth. Some of the earlier 7 brews that started did not have enough stacking. Our typical stacking, we have, when I mean thousands of hours, we have thousands of hours of data that we've watched, and on our peak Saturdays at our busiest location in Pennsylvania, we hit 21 cars, and this goes.
Yeah, I counted like 27, what you're
27.
showing, but if you go up around there, you're probably looking at roughly 35, 36.
Or more, yeah, it's almost 40 that this lot will be able to have.
Okay.
So we have taken that into account numerous times over as we design new locations moving forward.
Well, good question, because that's a key site as you enter in and out.
Well,
And that was discussed by staff and planning commission as well. That was,
It's gonna go into Shrewsbury Commons anyway, right?
Yeah.
well, I would hope that's where it should end up.
Yeah.
Do you, just a little bit, I don't know if anybody knows about 7 Brew, the brand, how it works or anything like that. And the reason why I tell you that, let me give you a little bit of background to make you feel a little bit better. So 7 Brew there are no speaker boxes. We have what's called texters. We have folks that walk up to the car with an iPad, think the Chick-fil-A model, Chick-fil-A culture of having that personal interaction. They also act as traffic directors. They're wearing reflective vest. So at any point in time, they are getting the cars in line to make sure they're getting there properly and moving fast as you possibly can. There's no order ahead. There's no food. So it's all about speed for us. We're in less than, from the time that you order, time that you leave, we want to be 4 minutes or less. And so it's all about speed. So that's the reason why I say that, to your point, if there should be a case where it would spill over, we would have them circle the parking lot and come back and not be backing up traffic onto the road.
And it's strictly a drive-through, there's no inside
indoor.
service or anything.
510 square foot box. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Does that help your question?
Well, I know how they're set up.
Right.
I've been to them.
Which one did you go to?
Red Line.
Okay.
But
Good.
Hereford's the one you hear all the complaints about.
Which
Not
one?
Hereford, down in Bel Air. You hear all the complaints from that one. I'm not familiar with it, but I've heard it's bad down there.
That's not ours, so I can't.
I'm just saying.
What I would tell you, that is the first one in Maryland, to be in the Maryland, completely in Maryland. And so it's just a learning process for the customer has to learn as well. That's one of the things, the closer these get to put together, the customer already has the input, understanding of how the process works, so we can go faster. So it's a two-way street, not just us as a training, but also the customer learning as well. And so us being as close to our Red Lion, we know that people are super excited for us to be here.
Well, I know, my daughters are.
Gotcha.
This is completely off topic. but
Sure.
What do you call your large coffee? Is it
Large.
Just, it's a large. All right. Large. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm in full support.
I work there, so it's got to be the KISS method.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. We had a second. We had a motion and a second, and then we had a question.
Right,
call
so we
for the
now,
As long as there aren't any more questions.
any other questions? Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
5 votes to the affirmative, so we have.
Welcome to Shrewsbury Township.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Should be open in October, I believe.
In October? Is that-
October.
Oh, wow.
When do you start demolition?
As soon as I get the permit.
Pretty much. we go really fast. Takes us 93 days from the time we put a shovel in the ground to the time we're open.
I'm going to know why my coffee sales are down, for the record.
Do you keep the
Royal
vault or
Farms.
get rid of the vault?
The vault goes away. The vault goes away. Yeah.
the
They
whole
only have
building, the
500
whole building
square feet.
disappears.
They need every inch,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We just need the parking lot than the building aspect of it. So yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any that are close to competitors, like you're gonna be across the road almost from a Starbucks? do you tend to take from those, or?
If I could put one in a Starbucks parking lot, I would. We do okay. We do
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Well, you've
Well, they
raised,
do all right.
you've raised a lot of attention from people that actually can't wait to have it, put in. Once they've heard about it, they said, great, we love it, so.
It's been the brand is something very unique. I've been a franchisee for over 17 years now, and been a part of this industry, and it's lightning in a bottle. I mean, it's something that's so unique, and I think it's about the people, what we do and how we are. I think COVID, unfortunately, that's a terrible word, but helped this brand because it got away from the order ahead. You go in, the personal side of that business, of our business, has gone away, but it's kind of come back with us, that you get to have that one-on-one interaction and conversation versus just ordering, going, picking up, and then leaving. So
How many franchises do you have?
outside, I have another concept as well.
One other one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
selling
that
it.
The things I've heard people like is that the cups are supposedly a little bigger, and it's much less expensive than some of the premium brands that might be around, so.
And they call larges larges.
Larges are larges, yeah,
All right.
yeah, not 20.
So good luck to you.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good.
All right, Todd, I think you had a comment, or just want to comment on the PennDOT liquid fuels audit?
Yeah, just, I mean, I don't have anything specific regarding that. You do have a copy attached. I don't know if any board member has a question or not.
Well, I think the key is, there were no findings, everything, we passed with flying colors, and we're good till the next one.
Yeah, yeah. The only other thing, I guess, now is, Art, bring up the, do I have that? I don't think I have that down through here. Penn Waste.
Yes.
We've been still having quite a few problems, and it kind of leveled off, and there was an uptick again the last several weeks. So we requested, I requested a meeting again with Penn Waste to talk to them about it. And we did actually tell them today, first of all, there's a new district manager. He's been here since February. And there's also a new municipal contract manager who's been here since March. So they have some new folks that they brought in. The new district manager actually came in from Texas, from a facility in Texas. So Ryan, Art, and myself met with them today and talked to them about what some of our major concerns are and what the issues are that are repetitive and so forth. And he reassured us that there's a new route supervisor for the township, that they've redone all of their collection route maps, and they've put together some other steps and procedures in place to ensure that everybody gets collected as they're supposed to. So he told us, several different things that they're going to do to make sure that we're served properly and efficiently. So right now, it's now just a matter of waiting to see if they deliver. And we did tell them today that we're about at the point here now where if they don't get the act together, that we'll probably talk to our solicitor to see what we can do to get out of the contract because of non-performance. But we had, for example, Borough Court was missed again this week. They're the ones that had 6 weeks of no recycling collected.
Goodness. Really?
Yeah. Judge Sweeney's office, now she's the only one that gets curbside collection, but that's irrelevant. It's still a stop. Her recycling was not picked up at the office there for 9 weeks.
Goodness.
And we had a couple other places where it just seems kind of repetitive. So they're aware of all those hot spots, and so we'll see. The guy gave you a good feeling, so we'll see if he really delivers on what he said. But the gentleman that was the district manager before is no longer with the company. If I remember correctly, he was with them like 19 years or something. It was quite a long time. So I think there's been a lot of changes at the York location. So we will see here in the next month.
I think some of their problems he alluded to were just losing a lot of people because there are now, what, 6 other competitors?
It's a total of 7, 6
in
other.
there, and they're all hiring away from each other to try to build up the staff
We only had 2
they
people
need.
bid it.
3.
Was there 3?
We had 3.
Yeah.
But another one just came into York County that got a contract. So as they mentioned, there were only 3 companies before: Penn Waste Management, and Republic Services. Republic and Penn are the only 2 that ever. 'Cause Waste Management,
No.
they didn't do anything unless it was absolutely a toter, you know. So if you remember, we had Penn Waste, Republic, and Goods. They're out of Lancaster.
How long ago was
third one.
Goods? How long ago was Goods?
We just rebid this
A
a
year.
little over a year ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was the 3rd one.
Yes.
I thought you were
yes,
saying that we had Goods in the past.
Oh, no.
I was saying, we
that-
normally just go back and forth between
Yeah.
Republic and.
But there are York County Solid Waste Authority. Her name's Mindy Waldemeyer. She's the recycling coordinator for the county. But she keeps all the municipal managers updated on who has contracts in the county. And there are a total now of 7 haulers in York County. And for years and years, it was 3.
Well, you got KBS now, they just got a whole shit ton
Yeah.
haul of new dumpsters.
Yeah.
They're going
Yep.
at it big time.
Yeah, and they'll be
That's-
going curbside too sooner than
That's
later.
Scott Wagner,
Guess who one of the 6 is?
It was, didn't he sell
7.
it?
huh?
Guess who one of the 7 is they recognize? Your favorite.
Oh, Handy. Yeah, well, he's
not on
got,
the-
he's got 3 trash hauler trucks now.
Does he now?
Is it 3? We didn't know how many it was.
He's got 3 or 4 haulers now,
No.
and he's got up to like 3 dumpster haul trucks now hauling. He's actually got.
But I don't think he's actively bidding on municipal contracts.
He's got railroad.
Oh, does he? Is that who?
What's Scott Wagner's company? Which one is his?
KBS.
Oh, I would say he sold the one, and then he started a new one.
Well, the KBS is him, but
He had Republic, didn't he?
He's
No,
non-compete.
Penn Waste.
Oh, it was Penn, there we go, I'm sorry.
He's non-compete. He can't. He's still under a non-compete. He can't. So he's running it through KBS.
Any questions on anything else on Todd's report? Anything else, Todd, you wanted to say?
No.
Okay, no questions there. We'll move to nothing from the solicitor. So we'll move to zoning report. Again, Todd and Ryan and I go in great detail, item by item on this every time we meet to do an agenda review. So there's been some movement, and there should be significantly more that are on here on the 1st or 2nd week in July. So, I mean, it all seems to be moving. I don't know, Todd, if there's anything you wanted to particularly address.
No, there's a couple that, you know, when Art and I and Ryan talked, there's a couple I'm going to follow up with Keith.
Right.
Because some of those should be along further than what
He's
they
got
are.
a couple, that's
And
right.
Handy Dandy is one of them.
I know.
But there's a couple other ones that are what I call more minor issues that should be addressed, should have been addressed. So I'll follow up with Keith on that.
Questions on it from anybody else? Okay. If not, we will move on, flip the page. We do have a speed study report as part of the maintenance report. Brian, you might want to just quick summary on it.
I've got a request from a resident on Mount Airy Road about the speeding, so we put our radar signs up there. This is to towards the southern end between Tona and Windy Hill. It is actually between Keeney Sunset and Windy Hill Road is where they're at currently. Obviously, the average speeds are 32 miles per hour, and that's the northbound direction, and 34 miles per hour going southbound over I think that's 7 weeks total. 85th percentile, as you can see, is 37 northbound and 39 southbound. There was a total of 35,000 vehicles in those 7 weeks going the northbound way, and 34,000 and change going southbound. So northbound 32%, we're doing at or below 30 miles per hour, and 68% doing above that. And then southbound 16% doing less than 30 miles an hour, but 84% doing above 30.
Thank you. This is kind of consistent with most of our studies.
Yes.
No major speeding and a few stupid excessive speeders. I don't know what else you call them.
They must have been drag racing to get to it, 66 to 70 going up that hill.
So I think we would probably agree this doesn't rise to the level that we would go to the state police and ask for any enforcement. We save that for where we really
They've
go.
sat in that church parking lot in years past, but I haven't seen them there in a long time.
They,
Just past the apartments.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them there in
they
long
sit
time.
right across from the entrance into where I am. I see them there.
Oh, the little,
Where you have, like-
would go into Ravenwood if they ever build it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they do sit in there. I see them there once in a while. Any questions? Okay.
Where are we headed next?
I think possibly Valley Road?
Where at or nothing on?
Valley Road, I think.
Yeah, we talked about Valley Road between Glenrock Borough line and Hametown Road.
All that straight away.
Yeah. So they should be being moved out here probably within the next week.
Sounds good.
We have the engineer's report, which I think is just pretty standard comments. We do not have a recreation report, committee report this month. Todd did provide just the current and detailed history on our fire tax and EMS tax distribution. I don't know if there's anything, Todd, you want to highlight or any questions anybody has?
No, certainly the vast majority, overwhelming majority of the funds are usually collected in the first 6 months of the year. There'll be a little bit, probably 10, 12,000 that will come in the last 6 months, so we'll distribute that December 31st. But if you look with the fire tax increase, if you look from 25, there was a significant increase to each department. For example, Glenrock last year received 72,000. First 6 months they received 102,000. Rose last year was 78,000. This year to date 125,000. And Shrewsbury in 25 was 121,000, and the first 6 months of this year 179,000.
So hopefully they should be set for some time into the future, although I still get 2 fund donation requests from Shrewsbury Fire Company every year. Just got one, which might be the second one this year.
And then for the EMS tax, Glenrock gets a standard flat 40,000. If you recall, until we get some other participating municipalities that also are served by Glenrock Ambulance. The balance goes to Rose EMS. Their distribution in June was 142,000. Last year was 152,000. And again, based on the outstanding taxes to be collected yet, we should get that other 10,000 in yet this year, and that'll be distributed in December.
Thank you. Emergency management, you have the report from Stan in front of you. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but certainly if there's a question that can be followed up on, you just would let Todd know. You have the subdivision land development plan report. Again, unless there are questions, that's pretty much known information now. We have, pretty much know where we are on the ad hoc committee for zoning ordinance. We have that going advertised. We did plan on a meeting this week to start on some others, but there were so many other things going on that we're setting a new date for that in the future. Sewer committee, there is a user group meeting on August the 20th. We figured after that would be a time to get that, ask Dave to get that committee together. A lot of flip-flopping of people and comments and thoughts as we see sewer. It's still a tough thing to, I guess, get our hands wrapped around. Questions on any of those? If not, we're to supervisor comments. You have my report. I would just comment on a couple things there. Rather than kind of try to summarize it, you have the last correspondence I got from Paul Smith Library, along with some correspondence back and forth. They've asked for some money to be released to fund an audit. I think it's over $12,000, and they're asking us to release $4,000. And I think I talked to Todd a little bit, and unless the board feels different, I think we should table that until we get some more information about why is our audit so expensive. Ours is around $4,000 a year. Shrewsbury Borough, if they take away the authorities they audit, is about $5,800. It just seems awfully high. So I've gone and asked them if they can give us some history of other quotes they got, dates and times, to see if at least they have gotten some competitive quoting. They say that they have. They did get their 501c contributions, so any further certifications, so any further contributions we make would be to the Friends of Library, not to the York County Library. So hopefully what you have kind of explains all that, but if there are questions now or later, let me know. And I also included some correspondence back and forth to Brian Schweitzer at, I think I left out a letter in his name, but at any rate, in Shrewsbury Borough regarding the police department study grant he was asking us to participate in, and a mutual aid, I left out the word aid, sorry about that, agreement. Just kind of telling where we were, and I think I've shared some of that with you previously. I don't know if there are any questions on any of that or anything on my report.
How did the Memorial Trees Committee meeting go?
Not much progress. Is that a fair comment on the Memorial Trees meeting?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing we did learn is that the Rotary Club
Of York.
they have a specific fund for the trees, and that does have, they're kind of holding it until they determine what group's going to manage, or groups. They're going to manage the
ones on the
trees.
trail?
Yeah, to manage the trees, how that's going to be handled. But they do have about $60,000 that they have that would be transferred along over and to be, well, no, let me back up. They have $60,000 that they would retain, and 4% a year
As an endowment.
would be released, correct,
As
to
an
the group to
endowment
help with
fund.
maintenance. Now, one question that came up was, there hasn't really been any care given to these trees in the last how many years? And so there's some that need limbs trimmed up. I know I've seen some where limbs are hanging down and so forth. So they did have, who was the tree company?
Barrett?
Bartlett.
I knew it was a
you.
B.
Bartlett.
Bartlett.
Yeah. Bartlett Tree Service, actually, one of the employees is part of the Rotary Club of Southern York County, and he was part of this project. So their company put together an estimate of what it would cost to do like a one-time maintenance to get all the trees back up to snuff, so to speak, where they should be, so that we'd be starting with from scratch. And Brian Tate, who's part of the York Rotary Club and part of the endowment committee, stated that they would probably be willing to pay out the amount that would be required to get trees in proper care and then start fresh and then do the 4%.
Have you seen that quote?
I did. It was,
I have.
you didn't? Okay, I'll make a
I
note.
was just curious what
forward
it was.
Don't hold me this, but I feel like it was around 13 or 14,000.
Wow.
It's a lot of
If I
trees.
remember correctly. Yeah, they planted 200.
It's 200 trees, yeah. Just looking at the new ones, nothing on the
Correct.
old ones. And of course, they're looking for who handles that endowment, and they think a municipality would be a great candidate. I think we let them know pretty certain that we weren't interested in like
That's
kind of
what I was wondering.
taking the lead, because we felt that one day it would all fall back on us. That, someday there's not going to be anybody else involved. So I think that's still wide open, Todd, as to kind of.
Yeah, we that's why we didn't get far with that at all. So really anything came out was that there was an agreement. There was agreement that we would get a cost estimate to have the trees maintained right now. And we learned a little bit about the endowment. But that's
Has
about
any,
the extent of it.
who makes that decision then? Is that up to whether they release the funds?
That would be up to that endowment committee,
But-
the Rotary Club.
But the thought was that they would proceed with that effort as long as they would release the funds from
Correct.
before they set up the endowment.
Correct.
And there's also some question about what level of maintenance the owners agreed to do, and so far nobody, where they planted the trees. I don't think anybody's been able to figure that out yet.
Yeah, they were.
I thought it was pretty maintenance-free for the property owner.
Yeah,
It's not what they
we
recall.
didn't talk about it a lot, but the question was about, or maybe you even raised this question, I don't remember. Like they mulch around all the trees every year. I personally, I'm not an arborist, but I don't think that's necessary.
Probably not.
I mean,
Yeah.
trees thrive so well out in the woods.
Zero
and they-
mulch. Yeah.
How many of us have trees in our front yards or whatever? Most of us probably don't have all that mulch.
And I find that the people that like to use mulch
Pile it up.
pile it up too
Yeah.
high too. I mean, it's a big old mound, and it's, again, not an arborist, but I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be up that high on the base of the tree.
He's talking like Paul Solomon
Yep,
right
yep,
now.
Yeah.
No, you're
I was
right.
inspired
You're-
by Paul. I fight for the trees.
But you're
now.
right.
I
No,
do.
You're exactly right.
So those were the kind of things that they had conversations about. But I
And
think at
that-
some
that's-
point, at what point do you stop mulching? And the guy from Bartlett did say that at this point now, he don't know it would be really harmful or anything if you stop that. The plus to mulching is to retain moisture. But they've been there how many years now? So they're
Plenty
pretty
of
well
moisture under the
established.
ground
So-
for them, man. But that's another reason why I wasn't overly excited with the board outlining the project that we had to approve too, because it didn't talk about the trees. It didn't talk about the history of the trees. It was just about the people that were putting them in to put them back in. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
tell me about the reason that they're there in the first place. But it was just pictures of people planting the trees then.
So there's a lot of work to be done.
Yes.
Yet on that, but thank you for that question, because we should have explained that a bit more anyway. Anything else on that? Anything from anybody else? Comments?
Supervisors?
Yeah.
I attended a baseball game up at York as a guest of C.S. Davidson on
Okay.
June the 30th.
Did you? I didn't see you. I
Nobody,
saw Jeff.
nobody recognized me.
Were you hiding?
Ryan looked right at me. He didn't recognize me. You went by. Nobody looked.
Did you have
looked
your
at me.
township?
Where were
shirt
you
on?
sitting?
No,
Well,
I
that's why.
I had a hat that they gave me at C.S. Davidson.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The bucket
and
hat. Yeah.
I had my aviator glasses on.
I tell you what, it was hot that night too.
And
Oh
they
my
looked
goodness.
right at me and never said a word to me.
I didn't see you. I looked for you. I didn't see you.
I saw you.
Yeah. Well, how come you
It's
didn't
all
say
right.
hi?
I'm looking at it, you guys are looking at me, and nobody come over.
You too? Oh.
So at least 4 of you were there.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, good.
yeah, good game.
Yep, well, we weren't
Hey,
around.
The sun was brutal.
High score.
I don't know why they made their little get together area in right field so you stare directly at the sun the whole time.
They do
I
that.
feel like left field would have been a better spot
That's
for it.
where
but
they always have it.
I know. I'm just saying, like, you know,
I think because they have the tables with the umbrellas
Yeah.
under them, that they think there's some
Nobody wants
shade
to
there,
hold
but it's
the
still hard to
there
find.
is not, especially when it keeps sinking lower and lower in the
Hard to
sky.
It's hard to find shade, and you do stare right into the sun, you're right. Anything else from supervisors?
The food was good.
It was.
The game was good.
It was barbecue chicken.
Recognize Ryan that he did help with bingo at the front, at the Shrewsbury, it was their carnival, right?
Wonderful.
So
I saw
thank-
Brian when we were there. He was putting the boards down.
So thank you for doing that,
Yep, you're welcome.
appreciate it. All right, no old business. That would bring us to new business. The first item, Todd, I'll turn over to you regarding maintenance, assistant maintenance supervisor.
Yeah, again, as you all know, the assistant maintenance supervisor position became vacant. We were talking about it. I think we figure it's about 3.5 years ago when Tim Mergler retired. That point in time, we kind of held off. We have included it in our salary and wage resolution every year, and it's included in our budget, that position, but we have not filled it since that time. Mike McLean, you know, who is now getting closer to retirement and is kind of hinting around that he might do that sooner than later. I don't think it'll be real soon, but nonetheless, we need to start thinking about the direction of a replacement for him at some point in time. We, you know, given a lot of thought who that should be. So as we talked about in executive session, and we did talk about what my recommendation would be, of course, the board made no decisions at that point in time. You listened to me and took information. But for the public record, my recommendation to the Board of Supervisors is that Tyler Stiles be appointed as the assistant maintenance supervisor.
I would just remind anybody, we can't carry on any discussion here. It's just the vote. Any discussion would have to be an executive session.
So moved.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Okay.
Mr. Brown?
He
Has
us-
it.
he yields to
Give to Jeff.
Bob for the,
Mr. Brown.
all right, so either way, we have a motion and a second that would approve the promotion of Tyler to assistant maintenance supervisor. Really not much you can question unless there's something serious on your mind. If not, I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative, so I guess congratulations to Tyler, and we'll all be watching. How's that? Okay, we have this, nothing in the package on this, Todd, so I guess you have it.
I put it on the agenda, and literally, Ryan went to get them. I forgot I had them on the copier.
Okay.
I called Ann Yost, who's with YSM Landscaping, and asked her can you find out if they're gonna submit their final application for payment? Because we need to get that paid so that we can submit our request for reimbursement
That's
from the
right,
state.
yeah.
So it came through around 4 o'clock today, I see. So, yeah, Ryan has some copies there. But this is the final application for payment. Ann did review it. And she does recommend that the Board of Supervisors approve the final application for payment, which is the retainage that was held from previous payments. And the total amount of that would be $21,724.99. And this was for the Hametown Park Playground and for the new pavilion at Windy Hill Park.
So once we approve this, then we haven't received any of the grant money yet, right?
Correct. Yep, we need to pay all the bills first.
What is that,
before-
a couple $100,000?
This one was.
Is it 50?
We will get
Percent?
back. Let's see here. For this particular one, we'll get back 210,000.
Okay.
50%.
Very good. Make a motion to approve application payment number 8.
Second.
The final approval in the amount of $21,724.99.
And I'll second it.
We have
Thank
a
you.
motion and a second to approve the final payment. Any questions before we vote? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative, so that has been approved.
Get to your grant.
Excess topsoil.
Yeah, this next one, I was contacted by John Hankey, who's developing the Laricina development. If you recall, this is the one that's at the corner of Mount Airy and Tawna Roads.
It's a big old pile of dirt.
Yeah, as he has explained here in his email, they stripped off about 12 inches, the average thickness of topsoil off of that site. When they
12
spread
feet.
topsoil back out, the non-pervious areas, their intent is to put 12 inches back in, the lawns and so forth. So that gives them quite a significant amount of topsoil that they're not going to use on site,
What?
which is about 6,000 cubic yards. Our landscaping ordinance, our zoning ordinance requires that all topsoil within the agricultural district must stay on that agricultural lot. It cannot ever leave that parcel. All other zoning districts, it has to remain on site until everything is completed, final grading, they're sure they have enough soil and everything. Unless that is waived by the Board of Supervisors.
No, that's
And
not
this is- and
agricultural,
we-
though, is it?
Pardon?
That's not agricultural, is it?
No.
I know it was a field previously. where I
Yeah, but
think
it's
they
not,
grew
it's
corn,
zoned, I think it's zoned suburban residential.
All right.
Um,
So it still
but,
needs to stay on
yeah,
site until they're
and-
done grading.
Yeah, and we have done this in the past with other project sites. I know we did it with Hamilton's Overlook. So just would need authorization from the board to allow him to
And how,
do that.
and, staff's in agreement?
Yes.
How much?
I think it's estimated to be about 6,000 cubic yards.
Okay. And we're confident that's gonna leave enough to do what they need to do?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve, the removal of 6,000 cubic yards of topsoil.
Second.
From the, Laricina development at the, corner of Mount Airy and Tona.
Second again.
I thought I heard you second.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have a
You
motion.
and Jeff were jumping the gun. I have very long-winded motions sometimes.
You took a breath.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve removal of approximately 6,000 cubic yards of topsoil from the Lucina development. Questions before we vote? Ask for the vote.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative, so the removal of topsoil has been approved. We have some fencing. This is at Windy Hill Park, one of the ball fields that they call Ebbets Field there. I think either Ryan or Todd can walk through it.
We got a request from SYC a little while back, asking to extend the fence along here, along both of these sides here, and then extending it on the back side with the gate, then the same down along, I guess this would be third baseline here, and connecting into the existing fence that is already there. It would be 6 foot high. What prompted this is, at one of their games, I believe this year, they had somebody take a ball to the head, I believe. So they're looking into increasing safety. So this is what they're proposing.
So the whole field's gonna be enclosed,
Yes, other than the gate up here.
and the only way in is through that gate
And
and,
the dugouts down in this area and this area.
You want to mention the maintenance?
Yeah, so we're proposing, and we already talked to SYC about this, being the fact this is all gonna be closed off. This is gonna be creating an issue for maintenance and all as far as mowing goes. It's gonna add, we figure probably another 20 to 30 minutes at least to mowing every week, and he's already got his hands full enough.
okay,
So we asked them, if we allow them to do this, would they take care of the maintenance within this entire fence here, and they did agree to that. I think we're gonna put a stipulation on that if they do not do this, that we reserve the right to take this fence down so that it can go back to the way it was.
fair enough. Now, the outfield wall is there now currently.
Yes. Yeah, right on this.
Yeah, with the,
And they're accessing it through the gate at the top, I'm assuming?
There is no gate at the top right
But,
now.
but when it's built, that's how they would get in to do
They would
said mowing?
Yes, yeah, to mow it, they would come through this back gate here,
All right.
which is total of 14 feet.
I think were we not also looking at, in the event that they cease to use this field or something, that they would have to fund taking that fence?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what Ryan was referring to. If they stop maintaining it,
Right,
that we, in our, if the board approves it, there would be a condition, that would be something we
yeah,
would
we
put
want
in
that
our
condition
approval,
in
that
there.
it would be subject to being removed at no cost to the township, meaning we're not going to reimburse them
Right,
if we had to take down what they've just installed with
Right.
this, so that we could go back to our maintenance routine.
I'm not familiar with the field specifically, but only having 3 points of entry and a 6-foot-high fence, I'm thinking worst case scenario. There was a shooting at a baseball field many years ago, you recall, and I believe it was DC, with the senators and House representatives, whatever else. Is there any way to get additional gates or whatever to exit if they needed to in a timely fashion?
I think we could ask them that.
Yeah,
Again, it's a terrible thing to bring up. It's a worst possible case scenario, but everyone on that field is then trapped. Except maybe a couple people in the outfield if they're able to jump over the 4-footer. Nobody's jumping over a 6-foot fence.
Yeah, what I'm just thinking is maybe at each of the corners there that they're adding, maybe
Yeah,
put in just
exactly.
like
Like
a-
extend it a little bit, or have a gate where the existing fence is and where they're proposing the other one there. Just-
Well, I'm like looking at that 15-foot there, and not that it have to be 15 foot, but maybe at that point there where Ryan's showing the cursor, that 15-foot showing is not even having a gate, just a man-size opening.
Yes. Yeah.
Because again, if something horrific like that happen, you don't want to be
No,
trying to open the
no,
gate
and then,
to
you
it.
know, could it be locked, could it not be locked? There's a lot of different scenarios there, but
And I would
yes.
think, you know, given where that is, I doubt that there's many spectators.
I wouldn't
Over in
think
that
we're
area,
talking
but-
about this backside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That
I'm
makes
thinking
sense.
maybe they could do something up there in the corner where it says 7 feet or
Yeah.
something, or, you know, even if it's on the lower side.
Should also make sure that that upper one's not locked.
Exactly.
Right.
That it's not lockable, it's, you know, because if that's locked when there's a game or
Yeah.
something going on, and that's plenty wide enough that an ambulance or something could get into the field if they had to, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, does this need approval? Where are we on this? I just
So
blew
they're
up the entire plan.
Yeah, they're asking for approval.
Can
And you
we-
can add whatever conditions you wish.
I
if-
would
if
say,
you're
should we
to
send it back to them and let them make some changes or adjustments, or do you want to give a
They
conditional
still
approval?
trying to have
Give
this done by
approval.
July 18th?
Yeah,
Then,
because they're having a tournament or something.
I think
That-
we can do it with conditions.
All right,
That's
all right.
what I
I feel good with
Now,
that.
the only thing I want
Right.
to add before that, what you
That's
said
what I
about an ambulance being able to get through, they could get through the gate, but I think that the terrain might be an issue. Say an ambulance literally had to get in that field, I think the terrain would be an issue then, possibly there.
Yeah, and really, you know, even as it is now, where the 120 feet is there, where it shows the 3-inch foul pole existing in the 15-foot, if you close that in, I don't know if that really helps with an ambulance, because that's kind of narrow there, and where the walking path, because that's the parking lot at the
I mean,
bottom of this
You
drawing.
should be able to get one on that field, I think.
In case of an injury,
Yeah.
too. Yeah, yeah.
You know, we just had the one at Windy Hill where somebody, not Windy Hill, at Miller Park, where a player got injured and they actually flew a helicopter.
Goodness.
And, but I think the ambulance moved to wherever the helicopter lands, so I don't think you want to be landlocked for an emergency vehicle.
I mean, the distance for them to put someone on a litter and get them over a parking lot, I don't think
You think
that
you'd be, you
far.
think,
Yeah.
okay.
And Ryan raised a very valid point. Currently, unless they come in off of a neighboring property, you can't get a vehicle onto that park.
Okay,
The gates that we have are locked and they do not have a key.
okay.
And it's only because we had a lot of issues where people involved at SYC didn't want to walk too far, so they were driving wherever. So they wouldn't even be able to get through the gate
Okay.
right now. But like I said, the very bottom of this, we're trying, that's the parking lot. And to the right of this field is where the building is,
Okay,
okay?
yeah,
So this is the one that's closest to the parking lot.
gotcha. Okay,
And the only thing really in between that field and the parking lot is a walking trail.
That's
So-
true, right.
So it's not like it's even really that far.
okay. How many entrances are we looking at here?
I would think
To-
you're
to add to
looking
their
at
plan, just-
wanting to add that one down there.
The one in
I
left
would-
field?
I would think 2.
One in left field, and where are we looking at the other one?
Other one out there at right field near the gate.
Okay, so the proposed gate needs to not have a gate and just be open?
Well, no, my thoughts are, and again, they're gonna know better, see that mouse maybe.
Is it
should
put
help me a
just
little
a
bit. What I was thinking is,
man-sized opening?
like here, because that would still give them the protection that they're looking for here, for
Yeah.
spectators, like maybe right in here. And then this one here, not to interfere with their gate, maybe somewhere in here.
Right, so they could lock that then if they needed to, because you can walk
And
out
that was
there.
something else I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
If it is on the back wall, if there's a double down the line, it could actually leave the field of play,
Yeah.
which we wouldn't necessarily want at that point. So maybe we have them at the very bottom.
Or if
And-
they're
and
willing,
on the far
maybe at
side.
the end of the existing 4 feet, they can just shorten that up.
Okay.
Right here and right here. Because that's a 4-foot fence.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it could roll out, but that's not gonna knock anyone out.
Valid point. Valid point. All right. I'm comfortable making the motion to approve the field fencing by SYC at Ebbets Field on the condition that we have 2 exit points in the outfield, one in right field, one in left field, as well as the condition that if they fail to maintain the grounds inside of the field, that we reserve the right to remove said fencing to give our maintenance department access again.
Well stated.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Jeff, and Jeff, for letting me get that out.
You did that without a breath.
I had some practice.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the fencing with the conditions as stated for exit points. Any other questions before we vote? I'll ask for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
5 votes to the affirmative, so we have so approved that with the conditions, which, Todd, I guess you'll get back to them
Yes.
on. Okay. The next item, Todd, I think you had put on, that's,
Yeah, the next one was distributed to all the municipalities through the York County Municipal Administrators Association. As you can see, it's a letter from the York County Regional Police Department, specifically the 4 township managers that are listed there, which is East Manchester, Windsor Township, York Township, and Spring Garden. What they're doing is they're sending out a letter, which is attached, the second page, to the York County Commissioners, and it's asking them to give a little more concern, approach, attention to homelessness in York County. And they shared this with us if any other municipalities wish to send a letter as well.
I don't know that I
I'm
see it.
sure there's probably a lot that will not. My thoughts are these are pretty large
Right.
municipalities, and they have a little more power and fight than what we do. So I think they represent that request well. I don't
Yeah,
know if it's
I don't
necessary
see
for
a
us,
need
but-
for us to tag on to that and probably get all kinds of future requests and information, but I don't know how the rest of the board feels.
Do we have encampments in the township?
No encampments, no.
Do we have what?
Any
Encampments.
encampments?
We have a car.
Yeah,
we have
there's a
cars.
car at Shrewsbury Commons.
Yeah. Okay, so no motion, we can just move on, right? We don't
Yes.
need a motion
Correct.
not to, we just don't make
Correct.
one to do it unless somebody wants to make it. Okay, couple of, one
Trash waiver?
trash waiver.
Did we confirm that the property's
It's
vacant?
empty.
Pardon?
I was gonna say, it's empty.
All right. Make a motion to approve the trash waiver for 17839 Susquehanna Trail South.
Second.
Thank you. So we have a motion and a second to approve the trash waiver. So we no questions, we'll vote.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative, so that is approved.
Standard.
Standard.
Stormwater.
Yep, we
All
have
three of them are
three
standard.
God
stormwater
bless.
agreements.
Make motion to approve the stormwater operation and maintenance agreements for 577 Hayne Road, 1784 Spruce Road, and 2512 Angus Court.
Second.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 3 stormwater operation maintenance agreements as stated. Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative. We have so approved that.
Gentlemen, I think we made it.
We have a couple pieces of correspondence. You have the June LGAC newsletter. You have something about regional forums from PSATs,
Oh,
some things that are happening at the library.
aha.
So for your information, since we have nobody left for public, there should
Did we
be
even
no
lost Tyler? Oh, there he
public
is.
comment.
There he is.
So
Make a motion to adjourn.
we have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And I would just say we're adjourned, but wish Ryan well. He